Turn your great idea into a reality with Squarespace. Squarespace makes it easier than ever to launch your passion project, whether you're showcasing your work or selling products of any kind. With beautiful templates and the ability to customize just about anything, you can easily make a beautiful website yourself. And if you do get stuck, Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support is there to help. Head to squarespace.com/WTF for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code WTF to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now on TBS, Tournament of Laughs is the ultimate comedic showdown with 32 comedians facing off in a single elimination bracket-style tournament. Hosted by Jason Sudeikis, each episode will challenge comics to create their own comedy videos and compete for your votes. A lot of people I know on these lineups: Judah Friedlander, Margaret Cho, Godfrey, Natasha Leggero, the Sklar brothers. They've all been on my show, and dozens more. Watch new episodes of Tournament of Laughs Sundays on TBS.
Lock the gate!
All right, let's do this. How are you, what the fuckers? What the fuck buddies? What the fuck nicks? What's happening? I am Marc Mirren. This is my podcast, WTF. Welcome to it. It's been okay the last few days. I don't know how up to speed those of you tuning in are with where I'm at, but I am within the grief tunnel. It's coming up on 2 months on Saturday since Lynn Shelton passed away. And something is changing. How are you guys? You know, look, I'm not going to make a life out of grief, but it seems, I seem to be, in it and monitoring it and feeling the feelings. But I don't want to neglect you guys. I don't want to forget to tell you that on the show today, Helen Mirren is here. Oscar, Emmy, BAFTA, and Tony Award-winning actress. The amazing Helen Mirren. The stunning and profoundly talented Helen Mirren. She's on this HBO thing, this Catherine the Great limited series. But she's been in a lot of stuff. And I actually watched her. I was kind of going through her stuff, and I realized she was in an old movie that I saw when it came out at the Art House in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was called Long Good Friday. It was a relatively contemporary, I guess it was probably the early 80s, a modern English gangster movie with Bob Hoskins. And she's the female lead, and she's great, but Hoskins is just to work with that guy. Just what an animal, man. Just, fierce, fucking seething presence. There aren't that many seething presences. But I was lucky. I was fortunate. It was on the Criterion Channel, which I watch. And I'm going to watch Lola. And that completes the trilogy of whatever that was. Veronica Voss, The Marriage of Maria Braun, and Lola, the Fassbinder movies. I didn't know it was a trilogy. But I would talk to my buddy Tracy Letts. Yeah, I'll drop a couple names. He's been very nice to me during this time of sadness, talking me through it. He's experienced something similar in his life. It's been very helpful. I might give him a call tonight even. Staying in touch with the people. That's the hard stuff. The hard part about the grieving is that, it's the aloneness a bit. But Tom Sharpling came over for dinner the other night, and I've been hiking with my pal Al Madrigal, going up the hill, talking about stuff, gossiping a little bit. Things get limited, and everybody's not doing much. The gossip and the, what you can talk about. There's not a lot of fresh news around, and in terms of the macro, that's never good anymore. It's fucking paralyzing out here. Just managing the existential despair and terror of whatever the fuck is happening. And just watching people snap. It's amazing the consistency of these belligerent, ignorant dum-dums who just refuse to take care of themselves or others by really simply, wearing a dumb mask indoors so as they don't get sick and they don't get others sick with this thing escalating. But some of these people have just really they're going to die on this hill, man. This was the freedom fight that they were going to fight, this mask business. And when they lose it, I've watched 3 or 4 videos of women in supermarkets and Target stores, and I just watched one of a guy. I've watched 2 of a guy. It is literally like watching, and I don't have children, but I'm thinking a 3-year-old, a 3 to 5-year-old temper tantrum in the body of a grown person, ranting and raving about, it usually doesn't even make sense. It's just like something snaps in their head, and it has to do with a mask, and it represents a lot of things. Freedom, God, didn't intend it. It's just a confusion of conspiratorial garbage and right-wing talking points and some Christian end times business just mashed up in sort of just kind of blurts. And usually there's a physical activity, a childish physical activity, throwing groceries on the floor, taking things off a rack. Something snaps inside these people, and I think you really get to see who they are emotionally at the core of whatever ideological insanity they've allowed their brain to be programmed with. And it's like 3 to 5 years old, and I would imagine intellectually some of them close to that as well, and I don't want to be condescending, but just watch those things. This is not grown-up behavior. It's like, just stubborn children being told to do something healthy and just like, no. Very exciting. I acknowledged, oddly, but I acknowledged the passing of Ronnie and Donnie Gallion, I believe is how you say their last name. Ronnie and Donnie Gallion of Beaver Creek, Ohio. The oldest, the longest surviving conjoined twins. I guess they died July 4th. I did not know it was that many days ago. And the reason I brought attention to it is I wouldn't say they traumatized me because I bought the ticket. And I think expanded my brain, but blew a hole in it, for sure. When I was younger, some of you know this, I had a mild obsession with the circus or the sideshow, the Midway sideshow, the circus freaks, as they were called, human anomalies, as Joel Peter Whitkin would call them. But I couldn't understand my fascination with them. I had books about them, and I think it was really just that they were terminally and, tragically, some of them unique by birth, some by choice, but the ones by birth were more fascinating to me. Yet they figured out a way to exist. And I think it spoke to something inside me that I felt so uncomfortable that going to the New Mexico State Fair, nervously buying a ticket to walk up a ramp to a viewing window in a trailer to look at Ronnie and Donnie sitting in there just watching television with their flesh of conjoinment and whatever organs they shared exposed, that they seemed comfortable. They were watching television. They didn't seem to mind us looking at them, but they didn't put on a show. They were just there, and it was inspiring to me. I mean, outside of the fact that they were, I don't know what their life looked like, but in the trailer they seemed comfortable, and it was quite a decent racket. They didn't have to do much. I mean, they were already conjoined. I mean, I guess they could do more, but they really didn't put a lot of effort into it. They were just sitting there. I think maybe one of them was having a snack, watching television. But the way they moved and the way they sort of, it was just, I think it made me feel better that there was a place in the world for everybody. And, oddly, my place was on stage as well. I was not in a trailer. I don't have a conjoined twin, but I have a sort of hidden emotional obesity that I stuffed down. And in another note, I noticed that there was a tweet that my producer, Brendan McDonald, forwarded me that it says, Japan's theme parks have banned screaming on roller coasters because it spreads coronavirus. And, quote, please scream inside your heart, unquote. And I'm familiar with that. I'd like, you want to know what screaming inside your heart sounds like? I'm doing it now. I'm doing it most of the time. I've mastered it. Did you hear it? No, right? It's happening. I'm screaming inside my heart right now. Every morning I get up and I actually pray to nothing for a little peace of mind and a little guidance. Pray to nothing. I pray to no one. I pray to humble myself and let go of the chains and pain in my heart, to stop screaming in my heart for a minute or two, and ground myself in something larger that remains unidentified. Not paying any lip service to any sort of higher power. It's just a way of humbling and trying to kind of like try to get a valve, release valve on the sadness. And then I spend a couple minutes looking at a picture of me and Lynn that she seemed to like. And then I deal with my cats. Monkey hanging on, getting frail. But I think, I don't know, he seems okay. The best thing that can happen, I think, at this point is that he just dies in his sleep. Buster's fat, getting fat. I don't know if he's sick, too. He seems to run around like he's a kitten, but he's fat, and he gets himself out of breath. And he beats up on fucking Monkey. But I seem to have some acceptance around that. I'm no longer seeing, Monkey's aging and near-deathness as part of some kind of heartbreaking continuum that that has been, imposed upon me, that I've been drawn into by death and dying. And again, I want to thank everybody for reaching out. Still very happy that you're doing that. So Helen Mirren was recently, as I said earlier, in the HBO limited series Catherine the Great. You can watch that right now on all HBO streaming and on-demand platforms. She's also in the upcoming The One and Only Ivan, which will be on Disney Plus next month. And this is me and Helen Mirren coming right up. Today's show is supported by Disney Television Studios, which produces award-winning and culture-defining programming for all platforms, including Little Fires Everywhere, Homeland, Pose, This Is Us, Modern Family, Jimmy Kimmel Live, How to Get Away with Murder, Black-ish, The Politician, and so much more. Disney Television Studios is all of 20th Century Fox Television, ABC Studios, and Fox 21 Television Studios. Television Academy members, be sure to check out DTSAwards.com now to watch more than 50 Emmy-eligible series for consideration in all categories. Okay? For all our sakes, we need to avoid crowds any way we can right now. But what if you need to go to the post office? What if you need postage to send out letters and packages? Don't worry, folks. Stamps.com is here to help. With Stamps.com, you can print postage on demand and skip those lines and crowds at the post office. You personally print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail. Then just leave it for your mail carrier or schedule a free package pickup or drop it in a mailbox. No human contact required. Whether you're a small business sending invoices, an online seller shipping out products, or just working from home and need to mail stuff, Stamps.com Stamps.com can handle it all with ease and gives you discounts on postage as well. And now Stamps.com also offers UPS services with discounts up to 62%. You won't even have to pay UPS residential surcharges. We've used Stamps.com for almost a decade, and it always made sense to use it. Now it makes sense more than ever. Right now, listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial